Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all. We are so excited to have you all join. It is 11 a.m., so we're going to get started right away. Just so you know, if you see me kind of moving from one thing to another on my computer, it's just because I'm kind of managing notes and managing Zoom and managing all the stuff that's going on. So we're really, really excited to have you all. More people are joining us as we're doing it. It's good to see you, Dahlia. It's good to see you, Colette, Diane, and everybody else. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say everyone's name because more and more people are joining, but it's just awesome to have you all here. So before we get started, I just want to tell you, first of all, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ronnie Habib. I'm the founder of EQ Schools, and I'm joined by my amazing colleague and my incredible wife, Allison Shotwell. And I want to just start by just wanted to acknowledge you all for taking 30 minutes to be with us now. I mean, you're clearly deeply committed to your personal and professional development and to connecting with like-minded educators and leaders. And I imagine that you want to take some of the stuff that you're learning in these webinars this week and share it with the people that you love and the people that you work with. And to me, like, your commitment to these things is super inspiring. So thank you for being with us. And I want you to know that, to me, like, during these times of physical distancing, emotional connection is more important than ever. So, like, we see these webinars not only as opportunities to give you all a bunch of skills and tools and strategies, but really an opportunity for all of us to be able to come together and to experience what it is like to have our energy kind of uplift ourselves, how uplifting one another, and also like take that energy and uplift people who are not with us today. And one thing I want to mention is that the webinars are recorded. This is all, and the reason we're recording it is because we wanted to offer this to more people who are not able to be with us today. So we already have 52 participants on the webinar. There's people from all over California, but there's also people from other parts of the world like India and other areas. And so to me, it's just such an amazing gift to be able to bring us all together and learn from one another. So every day this week, you're going to get evidence-based, some research-based tools as well that are rooted in the fields of emotional intelligence and positive psychology. And you'll actually have a chance to not only practice them yourself, you'll also have a chance to then connect with others to process what you learn and deepen your level of learning. So for example, some of the things we're going to be sharing about are the power of emotional resonance and of attuned connection, of the ability to choose empowering beliefs in the face of adversity, especially during these unprecedented times, the power of gratitude, the peace that can come with accepting reality as it is, amongst many other topics. And that's kind of why we broke it down into 4 different webinars. And frankly, we might even go beyond this week because there's so much to cover, and we only have 30 minutes with you guys every day. So some topics are going to lead you to feel more centered and more peaceful, while other topics are really going to center around like deeply connecting with others. And other topics will actually even lead you to experience more joy, more fun, more aliveness, like what we're going to do on Thursday. We might even do a little bit of dancing. So today's focus, though, is really going to be on the skill of presence. So the reason for that is because presence is the foundation of emotional intelligence skills. And it's what allows us to experience life to the fullest, since the present moment is all we really ever have, as Eckhart Tolle says. Now, one thing that I want to put out there is that we are very well aware that these are times where a lot of people can experience a lot of fear, right? It's a time where a lot of worries come up. This is a time that, frankly, most of us have never, I don't think none of us have experienced. And one thing that I want to say is that, like, we're so deeply committed to supporting you all. And one thing that has helped us the most and certainly in help not just us, but helping us in supporting our kids, is that skill of presence and that skill of really being able to notice, like, hey, what is happening for us in the present moment, and then use that to be able to inform the way we want to live our life moment to moment. So in a moment, Alison is going to define what presence is, and actually and give you a little bit of context about why it can be so powerful and important now, especially during this time. And then we're going to delve into a mindfulness practice, a presence practice, and then even break down into groups so people can connect with one another about what they just practiced. So, Ali, go ahead and sure. Yes.
Sure. Well, it feels really good to be here with all of you. I know this is just a really wacky, unprecedented time that we are experiencing now, that I think none of us have experienced anything like this in our lifetimes. And I think it's just really a time where it can be pretty overwhelming. And I imagine that a lot of you are off work. I know we're in the Bay Area in California, and we are in a shelter in place. So we are only supposed to leave our house for food and medical care and things like that. And your kids are home from school, and it's a lot. It's a lot to be dealing with, and just the impact on us, and just the isolation. It's really easy to get isolated, I think, when we're in these times too. And so this is one of the reasons why I think that presence is so powerful, because what it really is paying attention to what's happening now. And the thing with how we usually operate is that a lot of times we're really not very present, and we're in our heads. We're thinking about what happened before, or we're thinking about what's going to happen, or we're trying to have control over something or plan something, or, in our fears, that kind of stuff. And I think that the reason why it's so powerful to be present is that a lot of times when we're in all these things, they're actually not reality. Like maybe some of these things that we fear will happen, but maybe not. And maybe we're just spinning and spending a lot of energy on something that will never happen. And it's completely human. I find myself getting there sometimes. And I just think that's a part of just being human. I know even I was talking to a friend about, so I've been trying to go to the store to get toilet paper because it seems like everyone's going for toilet paper.
I know, it's crazy.
And it's really crazy.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like, should I get toilet paper? Am I just getting caught up in a frenzy? It's like so hard to know. And I was talking to a friend who was hearing some kind of show about it, saying that actually there's really no risk of toilet paper shortage. I mean, now because everyone's gone for it, we're having a shortage, but it's produced domestically. It's not going to be in short supply, and yet I think that what it really is about for us is that we want to have some kind of control. We want to feel like we can be prepared, like we can keep ourselves and our families safe. And I think that that's what can happen, is that we can just get caught up in all that stuff. And yet when we are able to be more present and kind of bring ourselves back to what's happening now, a lot of times there's more peacefulness there. And let's see. And I think that it's not that it's bad to be in planning mode. Like sometimes we need to plan and think about, strategize, things like that. But a lot of times when we're doing it from a place where we're not present and we're really in our fears, like the things that we come up with is often a lot more black and white, a lot more scarcity thinking, and it's often not our best thinking that we do when we're just caught up in the emotion of what's happening right now. And so, and another reason is that we can actually start to take our stuff out on the people around us. I know that it's pretty difficult, especially for people that are confined to their homes now and with their kids home. Like,
for sure.
It could be seen as wonderful family together time. And I hope that some of you are experiencing that, but it also can bring a lot of stress and a lot of complicated relational dynamics. And if you've got kids and you're trying to get them to do work and, or just they're bored and they want to see their friends and, you're dealing with all their feelings and then you have all of your feelings and, it can just be really easy to just take things out on each other more. And I think that the more present we are, the easier it is to catch ourselves before we say something that might cause hurt, and just be with what is in the moment. And so now, Roni, if you have anything to add, or would like to take us through the
Yeah,
exercise.
no, absolutely. I think you captured it. For me, it's even it's interesting, even in the last like 24 hours, I noticed myself like, how much am I thinking about? Like, it took me almost like the other night, as soon as, when you gave me the phone that had the picture of the stock market, I got so like entrenched in, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to the economy? What's going to happen to our business? What's going to happen? And I kind of got lost in it, and I realized, even like 4 minutes into it, I realized, whoa, my thoughts are carrying me so far. And then like being able to then like, reconnected, and it helped kind of to center me, And so I just want to put out there that if you have a bunch of thoughts swirling and all that right now, and you're trying to control reality, trying to control it, it's totally normal. It makes total sense. It's because we're in really, crazy times. And frankly, we do it even when we're in normal times. But right now, I'd like to kind of take us through an exercise, an activity that I think can help us all in many ways. Just be more centered and more at peace. So what we're going to do is we're going to delve into what's called, I call a mindfulness practice. It can be a presence practice. And really, the purpose of this practice today is to focus on shifting from fear and anxiety to trust and peace. And, if you happen to already feel okay today, maybe even good, this practice can help you become more aware and almost become an observer of the sensations that arise and pass in your body, as well as the emotions that accompany these sensations. And again, when we're able to do that well, this essentially is the base. It's the root of what allows us to be not only more present, but also more emotionally regulated, more socially attuned to others, manage relationships better, get to feel more joy and more pleasure more easily. So, as before we delve into it, I just want you to please note that the goal of this practice is actually not necessarily to become more peaceful or even to experience less fear. The goal is, as much as possible, to do two main things. The first is to simply be aware of what is arising and passing for you as we go through this mindfulness practice. The second is, once you have an awareness of what is arising and passing, is to not attach any meaning to the fact that it's showing up. In fact, if you can even greet it kindly, and ideally even smile at the fact that whatever is happening, that's when you know that you're beginning to make more and more progress. But you also don't even need to attach yourself to that. You're doing great no matter what. Just being really kind and gentle with yourself. Jon Kabat-Zinn defines mindfulness as the ability to pay attention in the present moment on purpose and non-judgmentally. So non-judgmentally means with curiosity and with kindness. So as much as possible, let's see if we can delve into this practice with that in mind. So for example, if a fearful thought keeps showing up, like instead of being upset with yourself that you can't focus on your breath or that you can't focus on your body sensations, see if you can gently, silently, just remind yourself, say to yourself, oh, there's my mind again, worried and afraid. That's what's showing up right now. And then congratulate yourself for having a mindful moment, and then gently bring yourself back to your breath and to the sensation in your body. So now I'm going to invite you all to go ahead and get into a mindful body position, and I'm going to demonstrate what this is. So a mindful body position is your back is straight, your legs, you're not crossing anything ideally, so your legs, your feet are planted firmly on the ground. I encourage you to find a comfortable chair, or maybe even if you're on the floor, you can be kind of crisscross your legs, and maybe even have the wall as rest for your back. I encourage your shoulders, you can kind of rest them a little bit. And I think that, give me 1 second here. Great. And let me just make sure that we're still on Zoom, because yeah, I think that we're still here. Oh, we're just viewing somebody else's screen. So give me just 1 second, because we want to be seeing us. So give me just a second. Actually, I think it's under manage participants. So I'm just kind of curious if you guys can put on the chat whether you're seeing somebody's screen or you're seeing us, because we're seeing somebody's screen. I just want to make sure that we can see everyone else. We see the screen. I see you. Oh, okay. You guys can see us. All right, awesome. Well, and then somebody can see someone else's screen. Okay, but if you can all hear us, then that's good, because I'll tell you what, we're going to close our eyes in a moment anyways. So it's all good. So as we delve into the mindfulness practice, we'll see if we can take this. You can click swap. Okay. So we are going to delve into it. So let me just rest. Okay. Click to start the remote control. Okay. So let's just delve into, we're going to delve into this practice. So I invite you to close your eyes. And if you're too tired, please don't close your eyes. Keep your eyes half open. Because mindfulness is not just, we're not going to take a nap right now. We're going to get into a place of relaxed alertness. And so go ahead and get into a mindful body position. Your back is straight. You're not crossing anything. Your hands can be on your lap. And I invite you to begin to close your eyes. And begin to just breathe normally. And as you breathe normally, I invite you to just begin to notice if anything in your body wants to relax or to let go. Begin by paying attention to your feet. Just notice how your feet feel on the ground. Really notice how the ground is supporting your feet. You can even notice the temperature. Is it warm? Is it cool? Now go ahead and take a deep breath in and see if you can lengthen your exhalation while you breathe out. And see if you can relax your body even just a little bit more completely, just dropping the shoulders some more. And go ahead and bring your attention continuously to the flow of your breathing. You don't need to breathe any deeper. You can just breathe normally. If it's shallow, it's shallow. If it's deep, it's deep. And just observe each breath as it comes in and it comes out of your nostrils. And really see if you can focus on your nostrils, the opening of your nostrils, perhaps the area below the nostrils and above the upper lip. Not trying to change it in any way, simply noticing, and you can even notice the temperature of the air as it goes in, and as it comes out. Continue to breathe in a natural rhythm, simply allowing the breath to flow on its own. And we're going to just be here for about 2 more minutes in silence, just noticing our breath going in and out. And if any thoughts, emotions, or sensations arise, just bring awareness to them and remain an observer of them. Notice if you have a tendency to want to change what's happening or want to hold on to something. See if it's possible for you to simply remain an observer of it and then to let it go and come back to your breath. The breath that returns you to this moment and the next moment, really allowing each breath to keep you present from moment to moment. And we'll continue practicing just for just a couple more minutes. You're doing great. Go ahead and continue breathing normally with your eyes closed as we uncover 2 strategies that can support us in a time of fear or worry. When you notice yourself worrying or feeling fear, try the following 2 things. First is allow yourself the permission to be human. Nearly everyone feels worried or afraid on a daily basis, especially during these unprecedented times that we're in. Realize that there's nothing wrong with you. It's a completely normal response to problems and to the unknown. That said, there is useful worry and fear, and there's fear that's damaging and worry that's damaging. So, for example, having some fear of the coronavirus now and deciding to be cautious and responsible and stay home because that's what's prudent to do is a very healthy response to a healthy emotion. If we're worrying or fearful of problems that are out of our control, that can be damaging to us. This simply increases our suffering. And the way worry and fear work is that a thought or a belief pops into our mind and immediately turns into a story that we unconsciously choose to believe because it gives us an illusion that we have control over our future. We ask ourselves, what if I lost my job? What if I got sick? What if the government can't protect us? And then we try to create a future in our mind so that we can feel like we have some kind of control over it. If we do it over and over again, we can fall into habitual worries and fears, which can cause us psychological and physical harm. That's why it's helpful to remember to give yourself that permission to be human and to become an observer of the fact that you're afraid or worried and not beat yourself up for it. Instead, just gently love yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Instead of buying into beliefs about the future that are most likely not even true. And the second tool is to notice where you feel it in your body, to notice how that fear or worry, that thought that comes with the fear or the worry, how does it manifest in your body in the form of sensations? Notice the sensations and how that sensation feels. And just like anything else in life, that sensation arises and passes. So, for example, if you feel it in your throat, or if you feel it in your neck or in your gut, that sensation, see if you can greet it with, oh, this is a sensation. It's not, doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be, there's no meaning I need to necessarily attach to it. And that sensation will never stay here forever. It will not stay here forever. It arises and passes. It arises and passes. And see if you can decide to not attach to it, to let it pass, to let it dissolve, knowing fully well that there is a very high likelihood that it will arise again. But then again, in that moment, you'll have the opportunity to let it pass through you and let it go. So in the last minute of this practice together, I invite you to now simply notice where in your body you might feel some tension related to a worry or a fear you might have right now. And if you're able to locate that part of your body, I'd love for you to intentionally use one of your hands to touch that part of your body with warmth. This helps us bypass our brain and we can immediately feel a sense of compassion towards ourselves. Because we're mammals, we're able to do that. We're able to actually exude warmth and connection and compassion for ourselves. And so for the next 60 seconds, repeat to yourself in silence the word soften as you touch that part of your body with warmth. And so if it's in your throat, it's in your throat. If it's in your neck, it's in your neck. It could be a forehead, chest. And if you can't feel anything in your body, just put your hand on your heart and repeat silently the word soften. Soften for that part of the body. And go ahead and take 3 deep breaths at your own pace. There's no rush. I encourage you to do it slowly. We all deserve a moment of peace every single day. And as you take that final breath of the practice, I encourage you to slowly open your eyes and just check in. Just notice your system, notice how it feels right now. One of the things that I'm really present to is just how deeply grateful I am that we all had a chance to do this together and that you played along with us and did this with us. I actually felt a real sense of just collective connection and collective peace. And I'm also present to the fact that it's already 11:31 and we didn't have a chance to connect with everyone, and that's okay. But my promise to you is that tomorrow we absolutely will have some time to actually connect, not just have us provide you some skills and activities, but have people connect with one another, because I think that's a really important piece of it. I just want to leave you by saying that we are deeply committed to continue to support people, and I want to just share how we're going to do that during this time. So every day this week, again, we're hosting these webinars. You know, in 24 hours, we let people know about it yesterday, and we got we got 60 people on this call, and over 300 people signed up, and it's just such an amazing thing for us. So if you can please let other people know about this opportunity to join us this week, that'd be amazing. We want as many people as we can support them. Thank you. I love all the thank yous we're getting on the chats. You guys are amazing. Another thing I want to say is that on a daily basis for the foreseeable future, for the next few months, I'm going to be tweeting and sending stuff on Instagram, strategies, tools, activities, things you can do with kids, things you can do for yourself. And if you're not on Instagram, so I'm going to show you what my Instagram and Twitter handles are. And I'm also going to let you know that if I put it on the chat, okay? So on the chat, you'll see my Instagram is just Ronnie_Habib81. Now you know what year I was born. And then my Twitter handle is Ronnie_Habib. If you are not on these platforms, then just go ahead and if you want those strategies, I'm going to be sending out reminders through this Remind service. So it's remind.com/join/connect-EQ, or you can just text at connect EQ to the number 81010. The other thing I want to say is that eventually this time of isolation is going to end, and people are going to come back to schools and to organizations. And one thing that I know is that I think it's important that we recognize that our people are going to need a lot of support. Our students are going to need a lot of support. Our colleagues are going to need a lot of support. And our parents will need support. And frankly, we will need a lot of support. So one of the things that I wanted to put out there is that I'm committed as much as possible to support as many organizations, sites, schools, districts, not only online, but also in person, to as many as I can come. I know that Ali is as well. And if you are at all interested in talking about having me come and support your site or your organization in the fall, maybe even in the summer, maybe even in the late spring, we'll see if the situation gets improved, please don't hesitate to contact us. We're just email info@eqschools.com or just go to eqschools.com/connect, and we'll talk to you about how we can do that. It's been such an honor to have you all with us. We're going to send you an email also with a link to where we're going to post those videos up so you can see them and you can send it to others. And we are so looking forward to reconnecting with you all tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. You all are amazing. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you be at peace. Thank you so much. And have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day. Bye.